Did you know that you can hypnotize somebody by using sound? Have you ever been hypnotized by somebody's words? This comes from the Voice Foundation. So, your vocal cords, there are fold like soft tissue that is the main vibratory component of the voice box. It's actually called a voice box. Like, that's always been strange to me. But anyway, the basic sound produced by vocal cord vibration is called voice sound. All right, so this video is definitely not going to go where you think it's going to go. So, plot twist. Have you ever seen the film Dark City? Well, if you haven't, this is a spoiler alert. So, in Dark City, they had a ritual that they did at midnight, and it was called the tuning. And what they would do is they would adjust the city that the people were living in, and they would all come together. I don't know how many of them there were, but it was a lot. And simultaneously, like as a collective, they would click their tongues and they would all make this clicking sound. And by doing that, everybody in the city would fall asleep. So they would hypnotize the people in the city. And when the people would arise from the deep slumber, they would forget their previous, like what they were doing to make them get into that, slumber. And some people would even have like completely different stories made for them. The tuners, the archons, if you will, would come in and readjust the city. And it was never daylight, it was always nighttime. So the presence of the moon. Also, in that film, they had Neptune's kingdom. Now, Neptune rules over Pisces, Neptune rules over dreams. So, their reality, another way of perceiving this, was a big dream. And here's a poster. It says, Dark City. They built the city to see what makes us tick, like a simulation. And also in that movie, I'm just telling you the whole film. They also had this in the theater. It was a quick shot, but it said "Coming Soon, Book of Dreams." Okay, so use your imagination a little bit for this part. Here is an article, an old article about the Apollo 13 mission. All right, so a little clip from that article. The astounding result of that crash, meaning the ship crashed into the moon. The moon rang like a bell for nearly an hour, indicating some strange and unearthly underground structure. Do you ever find it peculiar that everybody seems to get sleepy around the same time? It's like, do you have a choice, or is it night time when it's nighttime? I mean, we could talk about why the body needs a recharge, but that's a whole different video. But let's continue. The moon ringing like a bell not only reminds me of the film Moonfall, but also the Truman Show when they had their monitoring station in the moon. And they also had like the Earth looking like a snow globe in there, but whatever. So with vibration creating sound, it could also, it's the foundation of manifestation, because your voice, your words are spells, and your voice literally is the command that creates the reality. And here is something called cymatics, where you have sound creating geometric shapes. Every shape is responding to a certain vibratory frequency. Now, the reason why most people know when Mercury goes retrograde is because Mercury has a certain frequency. And that frequency just so happens to deal with the way that people communicate. So you can say that radio frequency is all around us, and it has to be received, it has to be transmitted in a way. This is why when your voice, the vibration creates the sound and it hits somebody else's ears, your ears literally are transmitters that translate the sound into a word. And your brain knows the command because you are trained at a young age of the meaning of that sound, like Morse code, and the definition of that sound. So language is coded. You just have to get with the program. So speaking of the Matrix, it reminds me of Morpheus. So Morpheus is the Greek god of dreams and nightmares. As the bringer of dreams in Greek myth, Morpheus brought hope and despair, peace and terror to dreaming souls. The ancient Greeks viewed dreams as a gateway to the unknown world that, at the same time, reflected reality. Dreams were often seen as prophecies or apparitions of events happening in real time, or else messages from loved ones in the afterlife. In Greek mythology, the god Morpheus appeared to slumbering beings and shaped their dreams. And Neo was the one. And of course, Neo, one, those are just two words made from the same letters, just like Eon. And that's essentially what the Matrix is. It's a long space of time, a period of existence, or eternity. And Trinity represented the hypothalamus, pituitary gland, and pineal gland. Also, the neocortex plays a crucial role in dream formation, acting as a primary area where the brain constructs and interprets the sensory experiences and make up the dream. Okay, so hear me out. Scientists can use Wi-Fi to read your emotions. So they're using machine learning to read your facial expressions and your sounds through your Wi-Fi. So I believe that you can actually work on this and take it to the next step and have this machine learning read your dreams through your Wi-Fi. From Science Mag, you'll soon be able to record your dreams. Here's how. Tech that records your sleeping thoughts isn't necessarily the stuff of wild sci-fi imaginings. So pretty much it's using radio frequencies and AI to detect what a person may be watching or reading from their brain activity. Reading your thoughts. Use the Dream Analyzing AI to provide a clear textual description of the generative AI, and you'll get a video illustrating the likely dream sequence from that person. So right now we're actually in a time where you're going to start to see more articles like this. In the first, two people communicate in dreams while sleeping, like passing a message through dreams, because Pisces is the north node, and we also have like some other things like Neptune being at the end of Pisces or whatever. But not only did a lot of ancient civilizations compare reality to dreams, you have films like this. You have Dark City and The Matrix that are both referring to dreams. So this was not too long ago. The universe is not locally real, and the physics Nobel Prize winners proved it. And of course, scientists links human consciousness to a higher dimension beyond our perception. What if the master code was actually a master vibration, a master frequency? Did you know that when babies are born, for the first 7 years of their life, their brain is in the theta stage? That is the hypnosis stage. But the kicker is you don't need physical ears to hear the frequency. In the same way, like when you astral project, you don't have physical eyes, but you still can see. I mean, in the Matrix, they even had one of the characters named Dozer. Anyway, now back to your regularly scheduled programming.